So within Adobe InDesign, to find the swatch panel, notice at the very top you'll see File, Edit, Layout, Type, Object, Table, View, and Window. Click on the button that says Window, and you'll see the drop-down with other options. Scroll down to where it says Color, and from Color, you'll see another pop-up menu to the right. Scroll over that menu, and you'll notice where it says Swatches. Roll over Swatches, and then you'll also see it says F5. So click Swatches, and your swatch panel appears on your screen. The F5 means that that's the keyboard shortcut to make the swatch panel appear or to reappear. And notice if you roll over the swatch panel and you click and hold with your mouse, the very top area, and as you click and hold, you drag it to the left, and you click and hold and drag it to the right or up or down anywhere on the screen, and that allows you to have more space to view your artwork and modify your artwork while using the swatch panel. So remember, if you click F5, the swatch panel goes away, and you click F5 again, and the swatch panel comes back. So now we're going to apply a swatch to our objects. What I have here is I have 5 squares that I've created, and another set of 5 squares. So I'm going to roll over the first row of 5 squares. I'm going to click and hold with my mouse and drag and release the mouse. So you notice that that top row is selected, and so with that top row of squares selected, I can now choose a swatch, and I'm going to choose this cyan. So once I've chosen that cyan, that applies to all of those that I've selected. So if I want to select the bottom row, I am going to click and hold the mouse and roll over the bottom row, let go of the mouse, and you'll see that selection box around that bottom row. Do the same process, go and choose the magenta, click on the magenta, and that magenta applies to the bottom row. If I wanted to change the cyan swatch, by changing the cyan swatch, that will change that top row selection. So if I double click on the swatch, I'll get a menu that says Swatch Options. So notice here it says cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. Those are the different levels of cyan, magenta, yellow, and black that are in my swatch. So if I want to move this cyan to about 50%, right now it's at 100, I'm moving it to 50%, I'm just going to type in 50, hit OK, and now it's 50% of cyan and 0 of everything else. And so that new 50% cyan applies to all of those objects that were selected for the cyan. And the same rule applies to the magenta. I double click on the magenta swatch. Right now it's 100% magenta. I'm going to put this at 50% magenta. Type in 50. Hit OK. And now it's 50 magenta, 50 cyan. Now notice that I'm using the colors of CMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. That's for the printer settings. That's the color mode that you're going to use when you take your design to the printer. If you want to switch to red, green, and blue, which is for digital productions, for web, apps, anything on the monitor, you can go to where it says color mode in the swatch options. Click that, and up at the top you'll notice it says Lab, CMYK, and RGB. We're going to go to RGB, which stands for red, green, and blue. So now your color mode is an RGB, and instead of cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, now you have red, green, and blue. You can continue to modify those. It says 109, 207, and 246. Those are the equivalent to the CMYK magenta. I'm sorry, cyan in 50%. So also you have your hex code for your color. That's down here at the bottom. You can take a hexadecimal color and throw that into here, and it will apply that as well. Instead of using the RGB values, you can just grab a hexadecimal color and apply it to this.
If I wanted to have different shades of my swatch, what I could do is roll over the swatch, let's say the yellow swatch, and either right click or hold a control, and then I'll see a menu pop out to the right. Over here I can roll down to where it says duplicate swatch, and then it duplicates, and you'll see it says the copy below it. Now what I'm going to do is modify 5 different swatches and apply 5 different swatches to 5 different squares out here. Let's double click here and take a look. Again, it's 0, 0, 100, and 0. So 0 cyan, 0 magenta, 100 yellow, and 0 black. Okay, so then the duplicate has the same thing. Now what I'm going to do is just go down by a quarter and then finish it off maybe with 5%. On yellow, I'm going to type in 75. So that's 75% yellow, and the rest are 0. Okay, I'm going to go same process again, roll over that, duplicate, double click the new duplicate. I'm going to knock that down to 50%, type in 50. Repeat, duplicate, roll over the duplicate, double click, type in 25. Hit OK. And then the last one, duplicate, double click, and we don't want it to be 0. Let's just give it about 5%. So 5% yellow. So now we can just distribute them among the 5 squares here. Go get your 100% yellow, and it fills in the yellow 100%. So like the second square, roll over that second one. That's your 75%. The third square, go to the third swatch, 50%. Fourth is a quarter, 25%. And then this is not exactly 0, but it's 5%. So now you have a gradient of swatches that you can use any way you like.